We're in Boston's North End, which is also known as the Little Italy of Boston, and we're gonna eat our way around. It's April, it's rainy. I'm gonna bear this weather for some great food, so let's get going. So rainy. Bring an umbrella. First stop, coffee. So we got our coffee. This shop is epic. So according to some of their signage, it seems like they opened in 1932. I'm guessing the photos on the wall were of the previous owner, who I think passed away in 2010. So don't know if it's still family owned, but you have that like very warm feeling. And the amount of products they have here are insane. So many spices, including a lot that I have had so much trouble finding for recipes before. So if you're local here or you're on the hunt for a specific spice, definitely a good spot to check out. We got some, I have it in here, some espresso that we had them grind for our mocha pot. And then we also got some whole beans. So many options. Everyone's very friendly if you have questions and you want to buy something. Or you could just come in for a hot coffee on a rainy day in Boston. So let's keep checking out the North End. The next stop is Monica's for some sandwiches. Now, they're known for their big Italian cold cut sandwiches, but I think that it's not just me who's interested in them because they have a sign out front that claims that they're the best sandwich. I can't even see if it says in Boston, but that's where we're at right now, so let's go. To clarify, best sandwich is written by the Boston Magazine, so oh, let's go. We got our sandwiches. They're giant, literally bigger than my head. The inside's just really cool though. So even if you just are walking around the North End, definitely peek your head in. One side does have like some wine and like other products and stuff. So you can kind of just take a little walk along if you're interested in checking out Monica's. These sandwiches, I believe, were 20 each. And yeah, that's because they're giant. This is like 4 meals, could easily be shared with the family. We got an Italian, we got a spicy chicken parm. It seemed like people were kind of having a variety of what they were ordering as well. And one of the cool things out front, definitely look for, on the ground, they put like knives and like a fork and stuff just to kind of like signal that it was a Salumeria and a deli of sorts. I just think that's just a fun little touch. But no more chatting, let's get to eating. Oh my gosh, okay, let's try. Let's just lift up a half. Like, oh wow, look at that. We've got salami, mortadella, prosciutto, I think. Yeah, prosciutto, provolone. Then it had something called hots on it. I'm assuming those are like a pepperoncini of sorts. Oil. They also make their own balsamic there. I don't remember if this one had balsamic on it, but a lot of their sandwiches did. But I mean, also, I saw someone downstairs, they were like making bread of sorts. I'm not sure. They do sell some like sheet pan pizza slices they had at the counter. But either way, the bread looks great. And you can tell that it's fresh and it has a nice crust. So let's take a bite. Oh my God. That's so good. Oh yeah, that's definitely prosciutto. Oh, wow. If you're into cold cuts, my goodness. Now I can taste the salami by itself. The right amount of fat. It's delicious. It's really great. And like I said, you could easily share this. So if you're doing a food tour like I am, maybe make sure you wrap up the leftovers. But let's take a look at the spicy chicken parm. Oh my gosh. This looks insane. This was cameraman Brian's pick. And I'm so glad that he picked it because holy, I'm so sorry, Brian, that I had to take a bite before you, but I think I need to. I think there are like chunks of tomato on it too. Let me try and get the spice. That is really good. It has, the spice isn't too strong. It might get stronger in other parts, I can't tell if it's like a Calabrian chili or what they used for the cake, but the chicken cutlet, listen, I know that not everyone is picky about the chicken cutlets. Myself and Brian are, and we really like them thin. So it's always great when we see a nice thin chicken cutlet. Tender, delicious, and both sandwiches, the same bread, so good. Has a nice crust on the outside, but still soft and pillowy on the inside. And you can tell that this is a fresh mutz. It's just so delicious, absolutely delicious. Really awesome stop for number 2 on our North End food tour. We have more to see, and don't you worry. We're gonna go to 2 bakeries. One you might already know if you're doing your research on the North End in Boston, and the other one is gonna be its competition. So stay tuned. We are out front of Mike's Pastry, out front of a photo of Mike's Pastries because it's so rainy that I'm doing the best that I can to show you the North End of Boston. But this is the stop that I would assume you probably know about because it's famous, it's iconic, it comes up as one of like the places you must eat when you're in Boston, when you're in the North End. So we're gonna see, you know, why all these people are here today and what we should get. And then we're gonna check out another stop that you might, maybe you've heard of, maybe you haven't. And we're gonna see how they compare. So let's go. What I think I'm gonna get is probably cannoli, but I'm not sure. Let's go. Ooh, I got a cream puff and a pistachio cannoli. They have so many types of cannoli here, and I asked because there's just like, I think that there's like 10 on the wall above the back area, and I asked what the popular ones were. I asked which cannolis were popular, and the first one they listed off was pistachio, and I'm a big fan of pistachio cannolis, so I figured we'd try. Okay, cheers. This is hefty. This is a big cannoli. The ricotta is delicious on the inside. I don't know how familiar you are with cannolis, but traditionally it's filled with ricotta. Sometimes they do cream, but I'm partial to ricotta filling. Pistachios are delicious. A nice bite to them. And then we also got a cream puff. That was another item that they said was popular. They listed off quite a few things. And also if you like lobster tails, or I might butcher the pronunciation, sfogliatelle, but they're huge. They're giant, absolutely giant here. Like I'm talking like twice the size of my head. So we went with the smaller cream puff as our second option. This is kind of like a whipped cream. It did say whipped cream puff, but it's definitely a homemade whipped cream, which I appreciate. I think I'm more of a fan of the cannoli, but these are only some of what they offer. There's just so many options here, and heavy foot traffic on a rainy day in Boston. A lot of the places we went today would kind of seem like a lot more of the locals, so you can do with what you will that information. They're known for a reason, but we're gonna go check out their competitor, so let's go. This is a good pasta brand. You usually find it at Italian shops. We came to Modern Pastry, literally 2 minutes down the block from Mike's. So far, the vibe is very different, and they have seating, which are 2 checks in the right compartment. Feels very homey. We are gonna try a cannoli and see how they compare, but we're also gonna try what they recommend for us for what's really popular. I think I might be eyeing a few things because there's a couple things that look really good. So let's go order. This is pizza rustica. This is very common for Easter. So it's basically like a baked pie with egg and cold cuts. My family makes something called ham pie, which is similar, but this is more commonly, I think Neapolitan, I wanna say. But yeah, it's delicious. We got our goods and we got a cappuccino because they also have coffee here, which I think is a big win. But let's open it up and see how it compares. So to make it fair, we also got a cannoli with ricotta and pistachio. Oh my gosh, look. This looks crazy. Wow. Mm. Okay. All right. Let's give it a taste. Okay. I have a favorite. Oh my God. Oh yeah. So, you know, to make the ricotta filling, you're still adding sugar, you're adding like other things to it. It's not just like plain ricotta cheese, but they clearly mixed it in a way that's like a little bit more aerated. It just tastes so light. And I feel like the one at Mike's is a little heavy for my liking. I also will say, this is the size that I prefer cannolis. So, you know, a lot of the stuff at Mike's, it's big, it's huge. And if that's what you're into, if you like kind of like exaggerated versions of things for pastries, I would say that that is a great stop for you. But for me, out of the two cannolis, definitely my favorite. Oh my God. Wow. Now, for them, I decided to get their sfogliatella. Now, they actually had this and then something else called a lobster tail. Their lobster tail said it was filled with chantilly cream. So I don't really know if in Boston they're two different things. To me, this was always known as a lobster tail or a sfogliatelle. So we're gonna see how it tastes. Oh my gosh, look how good that looks. Oh, that's heavy on like the cinnamon. That's delicious. Oh. I think this is the most pungent sfogliatella that I've ever had. It's really good. If you like an orange cinnamon, kind of like a warm tasting pastry, that is exactly what this filling is. It's really good. I think you could tell which one I like better, probably just from my body language and a lot of the way I'm talking right now. Personally, if you want like more authentic or like more of that old school Italian feeling, you want to see what it was like to potentially have lived on the North End, I don't know, like 30, 40 years ago, I would come here for sure. I'm actually not even sure when Modern opened, but it feels like it's been here for years. It definitely has dimmer lighting. It has more of a homey atmosphere. Mike's is bright and ironically modern feeling. But yeah, this is really good. Also, both locations are cash only, which is definitely important to know. If you're coming to town and you don't have cash, it doesn't mean you can't find an ATM, but I don't know if I really saw one in either location. At least I didn't spot one off the bat. So bring cash if you're looking to stop at either location. Also at Modern, it looks like there might be a bar downstairs. I'm not positive, but it really just leans into that old school local joint vibe, which I definitely am always after. Really appreciate spots like that. So yeah, I think we should keep on going. We have come to Regina's because Regina's is great and I'm so excited that we're here, but we did try to go to Galleria Umberto because it's supposed to be kind of like more old school, which is what I'm kind of after today. It's almost not fair to even say that because Regina's was opened in 1926, so this place knows history. But the thing with Galleria Umberto is that they only have so much food until they sell out. So we walked in and they said, no more pizza. And then 10 minutes later, 2:30 on the dot, they closed up shop. So if you have time, definitely check it out. Let me know what you think. Arancini is supposed to be good. The pizza's supposed to be good. But I think Regina's is also going to be great. We got their margarita, we got their classic cheese, and then we also got their homemade sausage with pepper, and technically it's a white pie, but to white pie to them is not like a 4-cheese pizza. It's garlic oil, and then they have mozzarella on this one as well. So let's eat, see what we think, and have this Boston classic. We'll start with the St. Anthony's. Oh my God, that's really good. Let me try and get a piece of just the sausage. The sausage is super flavorful. I love the peppers on top. And I think because it's not actually a white pizza, they just put the mustard, I feel like it balances all the toppings really well. And extra points that this can actually hold. Listen, some people are flop, some people are not flop. I personally like a little structure in my pizza, so I'm a big fan of this one. But let's see how the margarita and the classic, or like the classic cheese, hold up. Okay, so here's our cheese. Oh, that's nice. They make the sauce, and you can definitely tell it's not too sweet. I'm definitely a big fan of like when the tomato flavor comes through, and it totally does. But we'll see how it compares. Now, the margarita is going to have more basil on it. It looks like they baked the basil. Sometimes they put it on just like fresh on top. So you can see it had a little cook to it. I think I'm partial to the margarita. I probably have sauce all over my face. But I think I'm partial to the margarita because I'm a basil girl. I definitely like when I have that like fresh element, and the basil flavor doesn't really, it still tastes fresh, even though they, I think, maybe put it on at the end of the cook cycle or right before it went in the oven. So I'd say definitely get the Anthony's if you're a meat person and you like the sausage. I think it's really cool and really unique, and maybe a margarita too. I'm leaving rainy Boston, and I ate my weight today at the North End. I absolutely loved being able to explore such a historic and delicious part of the city. But if you think that there's somewhere that I missed on my North End food tour, then let me know in the comments below, and I'll be sure to go back and eat again soon. Now, if you're also curious about where I stayed on my trip to Boston, then I have a whole video on that linked above and down below. Spoiler alert, it's the Liberty Hotel. And that used to be a prison and is now a luxury hotel. Totally crazy. So if that interests you, definitely check that out. And otherwise, I hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.